Can a movie remake be so bad that it makes the original worse? Mean Girls sure tries, and as a result, I'm about to give my meanest review since I started this channel 6 months ago. So, let's discuss the new musical reimagining of Mean Girls. But first, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and turn on the notification bell. Katie has grown up in Africa, but when her mom's new job takes them back to the US, Katie starts her junior year for the first time in a public school. When she becomes accepted by the Plastics, the cool girls, Katie's uncool friends, Janice and Damien, convince her to spy on the popular clique, learning their secrets, specifically of their queen bee, Regina George. Caught between the two groups, Katie discovers the fastest way to popularity isn't being nice, it's being mean. I may lose my man card for saying this, but I love the original Mean Girls, so it's impossible to avoid comparing it with this new musical remake. Not just because it's literally the exact same story, but because this new Mean Girls expects you to know the original. For instance, in the opening song, the lyrics humorously refer to getting hit by a bus, which, as we know, is a shocking moment in the original, but here it's used as a punchline in the first 30 seconds of the film. In general, this Mean Girls struggles to develop on its own many key aspects of the story. In the original, the story takes its time to establish how lonely and out of place Katie feels at this new school. So when she's befriended by the uncool Janice and Damien, it's easy to understand her relief. Then when they ask her to spy on the Plastics, it makes sense why a sweet girl like her would consider participating in their spiteful plan. But here, they rush into the relationship, so the devious request holds no weight. Why on earth would she agree? I guess it's because we know the plot of the original? When we first meet Regina in the first film, she honestly seems nice, but you gradually learn how manipulative and narcissistic she truly is. There's a great moment when she first meets Katie and compliments her bracelet, but later in the film, Regina compliments another girl's skirt. When that girl's out of earshot, she whispers to Katie how ugly the skirt actually was. Immediately, Katie flashes back to the bracelet comment, realizing the inherent manipulation. This Regina introduces herself in a song with lyrics that describe herself as drunk with power, pretty poison, and admitting that she doesn't care who you are or how you feel. There's no subtlety. That's a problem throughout this new Mean Girls. It constantly tells the audience how to feel rather than letting us experience it through the characters. Along with its inability to establish any character or story point on its own, this Mean Girls has been rendered toothless by its political correctness and pandering. These girls are supposed to be mean. Yes, in the original they called people fat, used inappropriate slurs, and acted cruel. They were wrong for that, and we as an audience were repulsed by their behavior. It displayed how far Katie had to fall to be accepted, and it made it difficult for her to atone for her behavior. To avoid offending anyone, this Mean Girls has removed the meanness of the characters, neutering them and replacing their cruel behavior with increased swear words, sexuality, and even a song about giving the middle finger. So rather than Mean Girls, they're more like poor manners girls. Even the look of the Plastics has been diminished. In the original, their fashion, their hair, their walk separated them from the rest of the students. They were, from a materialistic point of view, the ideal girls. But we soon realized it was all a facade, and their appearance only hid how ugly they were inside. Here, these girls are lovely, but blend in with all the other students. There's nothing to envy, nothing appealing enough to cause Katie to stumble so far from who she truly is. In fact, the most appealing person in this Mean Girls is the unpopular Janice, played by Auli'i Cravalho, better known as the voice of Moana. She's beautiful, the most charismatic, and has by far the best singing voice, but she's supposed to be the outcast because she's too artistic? Why not cast her as the lead or as Regina? These are the types of missteps taken in this film. Katie is played by Angourie Rice, who was a standout as the daughter of Ryan Gosling in 2016's The Nice Guys. Here, she plays the sweet role well, but can't quite reach the depths of cruelty achieved by Lindsay Lohan in the 2004 version. I mean, Katie is essentially the teenage girl version of Walter White. We need to empathize and pity her at the beginning and grow to fear and despise her by the end. Rice just can't achieve those highs and lows, and I'll be honest, I think it was less the fault of her performance and more the direction. This film is directed by two relatively unknown filmmakers, and unfortunately, it feels like it. I don't want to bash them because they're young and clearly have potential, but they were placed in a really bad situation. This is what really bothers me. It feels like the studio wanted to cut as many corners as possible to make a few bucks from the fans that love this intellectual property, even if that means handcuffing all those involved in the making of the film. For example, in the first shot of the film, it's a long tracking shot introducing a character. As it approaches, it slips in and out of focus, kind of like this. That happens. It's difficult, and even though it's accepted on YouTube and TikTok, when that happens in a feature film, you do another take until you get it right. Not in Mean Girls. Literally, the opening shot should have been redone. That's ridiculous. I've honestly never seen carelessness like this in a studio film, and it makes me believe producers, someone was standing over the filmmakers' shoulders, breathing down their necks, and crushing their creativity. I can't think of another explanation. Listen, there are often films I don't like or connect with, but I see the effort, and I respect that. But Mean Girls isn't that. It feels like a cash grab at the expense of the fans that have allowed this property to stay relevant for 20 years. And that makes me angry. And that's why I'm willing to make this review mean.